Hey everyone, welcome back to the series finale for our Might and Magic 6 completionist run. Now that doesn't mean that this is going to be the very last video on this, but I'll talk more about that at the end. What we're going to do now, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to... I think the quickest way to just be to... Oh my god, this is going to happen. We're just going to beacon or portal back to New Sarpagal and cure everybody because they are currently cursed. And the reason they're cursed is, well, it has to do with the very last secret that we looked at in the previous video, the excuse me, the totally absurd and crazy secret that has to do with the cauldrons in Agar's laboratory. Now, the reason this is going to be the final video of the run is because we're gonna finish the final quest. We're gonna beat the game. And before we do that, let's just summarize everything we've done. Well, actually no, we can do that after we've won. Let's focus right now on actually winning. So, going back to Castle Ironfist, because the thing that we're prompted to do right now is to obtain magic from Archibald in the Royal Library at Castle Ironfist. Now, that's like a very specific thing that nobody really told us to do, so sometimes the quest log can spoil things a little bit by revealing details that you haven't found yet. And that's one of the main reasons that I was not getting the seer notes in this playthrough, is because he does the same thing as well. He will reveal details before it's appropriate for them, like before the story gets to them properly. Now, where is the Royal Library? Well, it's, as you might expect, somewhere in this large castle compound. It's in fact this room, and it says King's Library at the bottom, but King's Library, Royal Library, same or similar enough. King is a royal individual. If you go inside, I don't know if I showed this to you earlier, but if you go inside normally, there's nothing to interact with, and if you went here early in the game, you might not even think too much of it. There are some houses in the game that are just empty, I guess because nobody was written to be a character in the house, and other reasons, like some NPCs will leave their house after you complete their quest, and NPCs that you hire from inside houses, they will leave their houses empty while they are in your party. So empty houses aren't by themselves a cause for concern, but this one just looks interesting. I mean, it's very obviously a library, there are books around. There's an interesting looking statue in the back. In front of that is a portrait of Archibald, which of course you'll recognize if you played Heroes of Might and Magic 2, which is a very good turn-based strategy game. But we're told to get ancient magic or arcane magic from Archibald, but not really told how to do it. So let's see if we can talk to someone who might help.
Master Nikolai Ironfist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
So let's talk to Wilbur Humphrey. Okay, well, I guess it's late, or I'm looking at this bit of dialogue pretty late, but finally Wilbur Humphrey lets us know that we can use the Royal Yacht, although I think we've been able to use it for a while now. I don't think you need to talk to him. But really, we need to talk to Nikolai, I think. And there's by the way, he's still talking about the circus, because way, way, way early on in the game, there was a really interesting little side quest where he joins us as a party member, but then immediately vanishes, runs off to the circus, and we resolved that. But here's an interesting dialogue option: the third eye. And he, well, I mean, he knows what our mission is. Like, we need to find Archibald and get some magic from him. And the Oracle, indeed, has told us to do this. And what is he gonna say? He knows where the bell is that turned him to stone, but he can't open the vault without the third eye. It's one of the 3 gems that you need to put into the door, and he conveniently already has 2 of them. But the third one is hidden. He doesn't know where, so we have to find it. Now, I think I know where it might be. I think it might be in this well over here. I'm just gonna save my game in case I'm horribly wrong. And I am not wrong. I'm correct. Indeed, it's possible that I came here earlier on in the game and tried to interact with the well and was puzzled that it wasn't doing anything, because usually things with water in them will either give you a permanent bonus or a temporary bonus or some sort of status effect, which is usually excuse me, which is usually a bad status effect if you're getting it from drinking random bits of water. But anyway, we found... Oh, I couldn't spot it for a moment, what with all the clutter in Roderick's inventory, but we found the third eye. A large, flawless purple gem on a golden base.
Hold! Who goes there?
Let's go back in.
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of
And
Enroth.
I don't know if we have to talk to Nikolai again. I guess we do. Okay. He gives us the bell. And I think if we talk to him again, he just tells us that he hopes we know what we're doing. I'm just gonna save my game over here. With the bell in our possession, let's go into the King's Library and let's see what happens. Isn't that interesting? Archibald Iron Fist, the brother of Roland who tried to usurp the throne, who was turned to stone as a punishment and confined over here, has now been released. Okay, that sound effect cut off prematurely, not sure why. But let's now read this dialogue. And by the way, that bit of video where he turns from stone back to human was pretty cool, I've got to admit. Now, wait just a minute. Okay. He says... Well, I mean, he knows that we need one of his spells, and he goes to the shelves and removes a scroll. I guess if the spell was in the library all along, we could have just gotten it there, but I guess nobody knew which spell it was. The spell we've been given is the Ritual of the Void. And then he vanishes. And if we go inside, he is no longer in there. He is out and about, and presumably up to no good. But it was the lesser of 2 evils that we picked, because it was either this or, you know, potentially the destruction of the world. There's one thing I want to check. You see, I had a feeling this might be the case. So, for releasing Archibald Ironfist, you suffer a massive massive hit to your reputation. And unfortunately, I've already saved over the last episode. Or have I? Actually, yeah, no, I saved over it. But this episode is close enough. Certainly no reputation changes were made in between that episode and the next one. We went from saintly reputation, which is the highest rank, to honorable, which is, I think, just one rank higher than respectable. So we lost a lot. So looks like we are not going to meet my goal of ending the game with saintly reputation. But I don't really even think you're meant to, so that's not too big of a deal. What is our objective now? Are we even given a quest? Or are we simply supposed to know that we have to go to the hive and destroy the devils?
Master Nikolai Iron Fist, Prince and heir to the throne of Enroth.
Okay. Well, let's read the Ritual of the Void. Nothing there. This bell, by the way, you can ring it. That's cool. And one thing I'm going to do, let me just quickly put the game on pause, is I am going to check whether there's a quest to be picked up. Because if there is, I don't want to short-circuit the quest process by going directly to the end. I want to do it properly and see all the things. But if I was playing by myself, because I already know how this game goes, I would probably just go directly to the hive. I just want to be extra thorough in this playthrough, though. So just give me a moment. I'm just pulling it up on my phone. So I'm being told that nobody gives you the quest, but if you go to the seer, he tells you to go to the hive. Alright. So I guess we are simply supposed to use our own wits to reason that the source of the enemy is indeed in this structure that appeared in Sweetwater, which is also when the town of Sweetwater got destroyed. I'm switching things around because for this final section, we are done fighting with the old sword and board style. We are done fighting as medieval fantasy warriors. Now we are gun-toting maniacs. We are going to shoot down all of our enemies with extreme prejudice. Just waiting for Alexis to recover. Now we can get our 4 streams of rapid-fire lasers. Although really even 1 is enough to kill enemies. But, you know, 4 makes it all the better. We are going to fly over to the hive and let's test out our weaponry against these guys. And you can see it makes short work of them. The only hitch is that if there's an enemy spell effect, graphical effect on the screen, it messes up the auto-targeting, because for that instance, the game can't quote-unquote see the other things you're supposed to be aiming at, and it'll just send the shots going straight into nothing in particular. So that's a little bit annoying. These guys, I'm not even gonna bother fighting them. I'm just gonna make my way... Am I even going the right direction? I think I am. Yeah, it's going upwards. I'm just gonna run past these dudes. I might kill a few of them at the top over here. Just to make life a little bit easier. And we are gonna go inside. I'm gonna save my game.
Perhaps this place isn't the right place for us.
And save my game over here. Alright. Alright. Now, this is the final dungeon in the game. I was a little thrown off by the text that appeared at the bottom. Flush systems activated. What are the flush systems doing? We'll possibly find out. Alright. Now, the room that we're about to look down into is filled to the brim with enemies. There's one good way to fight them that I'm going to show you, which is to go forward, activate as many of them as you can, let them come towards you, and then retreat backwards into this, well, let us allow them to come towards us a little bit, because what I wanted to do was to filter them, or at least the flying enemies, into a place where we can shoot them. They aren't cooperating, so I guess we can take the fight to them. And they are not going down. I mean, a couple videos earlier, we took down an entire arena full of gold dragons with this method. So you can imagine that devils who are, while they are powerful, they're not dragons, right? I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna jump down without any regard to safety, just because of how confident I am that I can take them down without even needing to heal, although we will be healing after this fight is over. And okay, that was one thing that I was afraid of, is that this is a really annoying... Okay, Lloyd's beacon does not work inside this place. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, that's actually pretty annoying. That's pretty annoying. I guess there's nothing to do except to... Okay, this door won't budge. Except to try and go somewhere and see what happens. And hopefully our healers don't lose their mana. There are ways to heal inside here, but it's pretty annoying. Okay, this door won't budge. So maybe it was a mistake falling down. I guess the only place we can go is inside these holes in the ground, so let's fall inside this one. Where does it lead us? Leads us here, and what is here doesn't look like anything too interesting, but there's a long passageway, so let's follow it. I'm gonna be saving because if my healers lose their mana, I will be loading, because that is a little bit too obnoxious. Okay, well, I hit a switch. Not sure what that accomplished, and it's one of those switches that once you've pressed it, you can't unpress it. So it's a good indication that you've made progress. The fact that it can't be undone. And sure, even though I don't need gold, I'll pick up some of it anyway. Aha, see, almost didn't notice this small passageway going off to the side. And let's just bring these guys down. Okay, now that we're being told that the flush system is deactivated. And that's important. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna exit, I'm gonna set a beacon, I guess, outside. Because we can't set one inside, apparently.
Aha!
Featherfall, not too interested in that. And what spell is that? Protection from fire. Hilarious. Huh. Alright, I guess let's fall down the northwest hole in the floor. Okay, that was a difficult to see switch set into the wall. I hope I haven't missed others of those. We'll find out. I'm gonna go as much as I can without looking anything up, and if I hit a wall, then I will start looking things up. Okay, as you can see, so the targeting indoors is a little bit wonky with the lasers. Sometimes they'll... I mean, like, the collision on the walls compared to what they actually look like are two different things, and sometimes the laser shots will essentially be going into what is just empty space and then stopping, because the game has decided that they have hit an obstacle that isn't really even there. What had we accomplished by doing this? We just made one long loop. Okay. Okay. Let's go this way. What is here? Uh-oh, everybody's weak now because I allowed haste to expire, which is a mistake I constantly make, but it will not take long to fix. All we need to do is cast... Well, I could cast haste by itself, but if I cast Hour of Power, the haste we get from that will be much longer than the haste that Alexis would cast by herself. Okay. Let's take these guys out. Okay. Another instance of the auto-targeting going awry because it's trying to target an enemy that is behind a wall. So let's reposition ourselves to try and convince it to target the correct... Oh my god, are you... Okay. Not even... Sure... Okay, I guess this is where those enemies were hiding. And let's do a bit of healing. I don't know if you can notice, but Zoltan is very slowly getting his mana back, because he does have mana regeneration. Okay, is there anything in this room? It looks like it's just a table of some kind. I'm on the lookout for switches, because some of them are difficult to see, but I don't think there are any in there. There is something in this room. A chest?
Very nice.
With nothing useful? Okay. Let's go back to this area and go this way. Again, the lasers are going who even knows where. What were they even targeting? There was nothing there. Alright. I have a long time ago given up on trying to understand how the auto-targeting in this game works, because it so often just completely confounds me. Now, it looks like there's nothing more in these sections. Let's leave them alone for now, knowing that we can always return if we've missed something, although it will be annoying. But if it's too long of a walk, I will cut it out of the video. But
Got it.
for now, let's go on. And this is promising, because this is a key. Hive Sanctum key. That sounds important. Okay. Okay. Looking good. Flush sequence in progress. That's a thing that will, I guess, periodically damage you. It's not a lot of damage, but it is a little bit annoying. I think there is something you can do to deactivate it, and I thought we had already done that. I thought we had already hit something that shut down the flush sequence, but maybe going out and coming back in has reset this place? I don't even know. So we've unlocked what seems to be a shortcut of some kind. What was the point of the shortcut? So this shortcut goes here, which means we can access this part without having to fall down from that central room. This door is not going to open. Okay. That is a problem. But this door will open. That's fantastic. Let's shoot these guys down. Let's take these guys down. Alright. Oh. And this guy was still alive. Alright. Let's hit the switch. Ooh, now, this is a switch that can be unpressed. Now, has this switch opened this door? No. No, it hasn't. Let's just continue. Alright. Now, this has brought us to this part of the map, where I was looking at it from the central room, and I was considering jumping into it, but I suspected that you could get there some other way, and indeed you could. Alright, now we fell down the center. And we're now... This place feels like it's close to the end. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I don't know if there are things that I've missed. I mean, of course there are. There are rooms that I can get into. I don't know if I'm ready for the actual end game just yet. Alright, let's just take these guys down. Let's fix up Zoltan, because he's looking like he's bad shape. He's in bad shape. He has been diseased. Alright. This door will open without too much trouble. Where do you take us? Oh, this is another shortcut area. Okay. Before I do anything, I want to go here, because this door still won't budge. Okay. Maybe it's one of those that you need to get from the other side. There's one thing that I want to check. Is, did we truly explore the entire thing? Because it is a bit odd how this kind of just ends, and I suspect we have not gone all the way to the end. And indeed, I am correct. Alright. Now, whoa. Now, I think this keg should heal us. Okay, it just gives health. And if you hold your spacebar, you can just heal everyone. And I don't think there are limits on it. So I just healed everyone back to full. Alright. And this, as I suspected, is another shortcut door. Alright. Is there anything else that looks like it's a place we haven't been? Well, there's this door. which I'm actually not sure how we would make it open. There are enemies inside it. It's actually not even far from us. It's easy for us to get to where it is, but less easy to know what exactly will open it for us. So for now, let us just continue going forward. Let's use this shortcut. Those guys are even trying to shoot at us, but we can't hit them. They can't hit us. Just give me a moment. I just gotta get my water bottle. Nice, delicious water. Always refreshing. Now. There's this thing that looks really odd on the map. See, when I'm zoomed out, it looks like it's got a white dot on it. But zoomed in, that dot disappears. Have I been to that thing? Let's just quickly check. Let's quickly check. I think it might have been the thing with the barrel in it. Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's go back. Pretty soon the only thing left to do will be to go up. Let me just take one last look at these things. Like, do any of them look like they have some part that branches off? Can't really see anything. We still have the Hive Sanctum key. If I get to what looks like the final area and there are still parts of the dungeon that I haven't been to, at that point, I'm gonna start looking things up. Because I don't want to leave anything behind. Oh, Roderick has lost his mana, but I am too stubborn to do anything now. That has flipped a switch for us, and it's another one of those that can be unflipped. Okay. So I guess I wasn't as close to the end as I thought. Okay, now, It's another switch. That's a thing down there that I can fall into. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save my game here. And I'm gonna, having hit these switches, I'm gonna try once again to see if maybe one of them has opened that door. Where have I gone? Oh. I've gone the wrong path. I needed to go this way. Okay. Sorry about wandering around in what seems like an aimless fashion, but I'm just pretty anal when it comes to exploring dungeons, and it really bugs me when there are rooms that I feel like I should have been able to enter, but I haven't opened them yet. Because I don't see what else would bring us back here to this one random room, which doesn't even look like it has a switch in it. Okay, the door still won't budge. At this point, I am going to look it up. Because it... Okay, Alright, okay. I'm being told that there is a switch here. Is there, though? No, there isn't. Is... Hang on, where... Okay. Being told that there's a switch here that opens this door. Which I thought I had hit. So let me now load my game. Being told that there's a switch... Yeah, in that room. And have I not already hit it? Because I'm pretty... Yeah, see, I hit it. And now I have unhit it. And now let's go back. Let's see if that changed anything. The one thing I'm not a fan of is these kinds of switch situations where it's just where the switches are just put in random places and like you're not given a proper map of the place. Okay, I guess that has opened it, although I thought I had already interacted with the thing. And what is even inside this room? The answer is... The answer is nothing in particular. Okay. Okay. That's very... Very, very funny. And I don't think there's anything else on the map that I have not been to. So now the only thing left to do is indeed to proceed in the northern part of the map. Let's check our spells. Let's refresh Hour of Power, just because I don't want haste running out in the middle of the final section. Alright, sorry about that little interruption going all the way back there to open that door for that room, which turned out to not even have anything interesting in it. I just had to do it because if you've been following the series, you will know that one of my goals is to completely clear every single dungeon of enemies at least once. And now, I'm just going to save the game again. Now I'll save it in a different slot. And the switch has been hit, so I'm going to fall down. I'm going to go here, and that right there is... I guess you could call it the final boss. And is it attacking? Yes, it is. We go inside. There are no other enemies. What I'm gonna do... I'm gonna save the game. Yeah, I guess I'll save it in this slot. Remember the spell that we were given by Archibald, the Ritual of the Void, the very important thing that we're supposed to keep with us? Let's just throw it on the ground. We don't need it. It's taking up space. We don't care. Let's just take down the reactor and let's see what happens. Immediately we're given a cutscene. Okay, so I guess maybe it wasn't a great idea to throw that spell on the ground. But technically that is an ending to the game. Technically we've beaten the game. Now, obviously that is not how you're supposed to do it. So this time, let's not throw this on the ground. Let us keep this thing in our inventory. Now let's shoot down this thing.
Alright, we got him.
That has... Well... Well, a lot of things have just happened. Something has taken away our buffs. So... what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna... Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Something is doing a lot of damage to us. I'm gonna cast Shared Life. I'm gonna go into turn-based mode. Let's cast Power Cure. Let's cast Power Cure again. Let's try and take some of these guys down. Okay, now things are a little bit more manageable. Although Serena has lost her her spell points. There's another enemy roaming around over there. We'll deal with him shortly. Before that, okay, let's go in here. Alright, now let's take a look at the actual final boss, the Demon Queen, with 1300 hit points. And don't remember whether you need the Ritual of the Void in your inventory for killing her, so let's do it once without it, and let's see what happens. As you can see, doesn't take much to bring her down. You can loot her just like any regular enemy, although you don't get anything for it. And having done that, you can leave. Is this gonna be another one of those? Have we destroyed the world again? I think we've destroyed the world. Let's wait for it. Maybe it's gonna be okay this time. maybe. Nah, we killed everyone. They're all dead. Okay. And one thing I love is how the game is still nice enough to congratulate you, even after having destroyed the entire world. Or maybe they're being sarcastic. Who knows? But anyway, let's not be idiots. Let's keep the Ritual of the Void in our inventory. And now let us go take down the last enemy in this dungeon. The last enemy we have to kill in this game. She is dead. Now, let us leave. And let's see what happens. I really hope this time it's different. I don't think there's another phase to this. Okay, it's a different cutscene. I think we're good. Ah, yes. The explosion is now contained.
heroism and valor in the service of the realm, I thee knight. Rise, heroes! All of Enroth thanks thee.
Yes, thank you, heroes. Thank you for saving my kingdom for me.
There we go. And I believe those 4 people in plate armor kneeling in front of Nikolai were meant to be our party. Even though it looked like they were all men, and they were all in plate armor, and in reality we have 2 men and 2 women, and only one of them wears plate armor. But, you know, that is the limitation of games from the 90s. Couldn't always be as detail specific as games have gotten these days. And now we have seen the actual ending of the game. Congratulations to Roderick, the level 117 hero, who started out as a level 1 paladin. Congratulations to Alexis, the level 117 warrior mage, who started out as a level 1 archer. Congratulations to Serena, the level 117 high priest, who started out as a level 1 cleric. And finally, last but not least, congratulations to Zoltan, the level 117 archmage, who started out as a level 1 sorcerer. Your valiant efforts and heroic deeds have saved the kingdom from the scourge of devils and fanatical conspirators. With the fall of their alien masters, the priests of the Temple of Ba scattered to the wind, leaving their followers to wonder at their absence, and the rest of Enroth to rejoice at the restoration of peace and order. The time we took was 2 years, 11 months, 23 days. Our score, not that it matters, is 28,319. And now we are given a further message from the developers. We hope that you've enjoyed playing the game as much as we enjoyed making it. We saved this screen in your directory. You can print it out as proof of your accomplishment. Look for Heroes 3 and Might and Magic 7 soon from the Might and Magic 6 development team. Well, no, thank you guys for making it. I did enjoy playing it. Funny you should ask, I enjoyed playing it a lot. And now we're told to press escape. This time we're not thrown into the main menu. This time we are thrown into where we were at the very start of the game, looking at the entrance to New Sarpagal. And here is this is the visual on which I'm going to end this game. And by virtue of that, end the series. So I hadn't really rehearsed a lot in terms of what I was going to say in the closing arguments. I think I didn't want to rehearse it because I was not ready for the game to end. I enjoyed this series so much. I enjoyed making it. It was so much fun to relive this game. Well, playing it again, number one, was a lot of fun, but doing a Let's Play and forcing myself to talk about things made me notice things that I didn't notice before, and I think made me enjoy the game on an even deeper level. Now, before I start gushing about how much I loved it, let's acknowledge that the game isn't perfect, and I don't care about, graphics, or even the minor issues like with the auto-targeting or, this and that, things that are really just quality of life issues within the game, but more that as a product of its time, being made in the late 90s, some things in the game don't necessarily rise to the level of the standards that, you know, used to now as a much more progressive society. For instance, in the very first place in the game, this word is something that most people would now not say in a polite society, but back in the 90s, certainly I wasn't aware enough myself to know the problematic connotations, and I can't hold it against the developers for something that I myself would have done and not known that it was a problem. So there are imperfections, but more in the sense of things that we've learned as a society rather than something wrong with these specific people who made this game. And I guess another thing is, you know, the fact that the only visibly who has the bootleg bay so the enemy, I guess it's better to not even show them. So the enemy types called cannibals in Bootleg Bay, they are the only visibly black units in the game, and to a modern kind of progressive person, it would make you a little bit uncomfortable if you saw, you know, a movie or a game or some other thing and the only black people in there were portrayed as cannibals. But again, it's a product of its time, and I'm not saying we should let it slide, but just that we should understand it in that context. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's talk about the game itself. And let's talk about the series and everything we accomplished. I guess let's start with everything we accomplished first. So, obviously, we did all the quests. We did all the main quests, the promotion quests, the side quests. And these here are the council quests. These are the promotion quests. These are the additional main quests. And this is the last one that we did. And in green are all of the side quests. Below that are all the guilds that we joined. We also collected 57 bounties, and we beat Lord Arena twice. Importantly, we did it after level 100, so the only enemies in that were not black, but gold dragons, the highest level enemy in the game. In addition to that, let me just look at my notes. We also brewed one instance of every single potion in the game. We also drank from every fountain in the game. This is an objective that I imposed on myself midway through the series, just because I could. I wanted to get as many of these entries into my notes as I could. We solved the obelisk quest, for which we got a bunch of gold and some artifacts as a reward. We stayed away from the seer because he could potentially give spoilers, and I think we got all of these notes telling us who buys what for which price, and also that red liquid, all the liquids, what they do, and, you know, the resistance liquids as well. One thing that I'm thinking I might have missed one of those notes. I'm just gonna quickly heal you, and let's go to Dragon Sand quickly. I know it's a bit odd going here, but let's talk to this guy. We're holding on to a lot of magic lamps.
Greetings.
Oh, not this guy. This guy. Let's trade one lamp for one gem, and I guess we can trade a second lamp, and this is gonna make our inventory a bit less cluttered. And has that put a note for that? Yes, okay. He will trade gems for lamps, and now I think we've got all of those notes. Now let's go back to New Sarpagal. And once again, let's stand in that spot outside. So we did all of that. And in addition, we, between our 4 characters, have at least one person with every single skill. Now, there are certain skills that only one person has, like diplomacy, this useless skill. He's the only one with spear and so on, but at least one person has every skill that you can think of. And in addition to that, we cleared every dungeon at least once, or to the best of my ability, I tried to clear every dungeon of enemies at least once. In some, it was hard to verify, especially dungeons like the Lair of the Wolf, which will spawn enemies once you cross certain points, and it's hard to tell whether those enemies were there in the dungeon or whether they're new spawns. But we did our best in every dungeon at least once, including the very last dungeon, the Hive, which I didn't really need to check too much because it had, it was a big dungeon, but it was mostly small, narrow passageways where it was easy to tell that there weren't any enemies after you had already killed them. So we dealt with the dungeons as well, and I think that was most of our objectives. In addition to that, bounty hunting was one of my objectives. I already mentioned it. We've picked up 57 bounties. The circus was one of my objectives, and we did indeed go to the circus. There's a whole video where I spent playing the circus games and then trading in the golden pyramids we got for prizes. And I think that about covers it. Oh no! I almost forgot to mention the most important and most difficult objective, which I talked about in the opening video, and the reason I made the loot mechanic video was directly related to this, the artifacts and relics. We got our maximum of 18 artifacts and relics, that is 13 through random loot, and the 5 that are scripted to be in certain locations. So let's quickly recap which ones we found. We found the relic Zeus, and I think that's the only thing that Roderick is holding on to. Looks like it. So the only special item he has is the relic Zeus. Actually, no. He also has the sword Hades. But this one, Alexis is taking care of it for now. Alexis is also holding on to 2 special items. Two special weapons. The one-handed axe Kronos, which was the very first special item we found, and the sword Excalibur, which is a scripted item which we found from a stone in the eel-infested waters. In addition, she has the cloak Pendragon and the longbow Percival. And I think she also has the ring Athena and the amulet Hera. Okay, so that's all about you. And now Serena. She has the hammer Thor, the chainmail Galahad, the boots Lucius, the ring Igraine or Igraine, one of the two, the ring Aphrodite. Okay, that's what she has. Now we move on to Zoltan, who has the dagger Mordred. And he's got at least a couple others, right? Yeah, he's got the amulet Morgan and the ring Guinevere. And the amulet Morgan, of course, is the ring Mordred is a scripted item that we found in the Dragoon's Keep in Freehaven, and Morgan, Igraine, and Guinevere are part of the reward for the Obelisk quest. All of the other artifacts and relics we found through random loot, although it was only this one that we found quote-unquote properly. The rest were found by save scumming in Paradise Valley. So yeah, that was the most difficult objective, and honestly, it was when we found the last relic that I felt like we'd essentially beaten the game. Because after that, it was a breeze. After that, I could just play normally and enjoy the game, and enjoy it, I did. It was a wild ride, even though I already knew how it ended. Partially because it had been a while since I played it, at least since I played the entire story. And so some of it felt almost new. It felt fresh enough that I still had a bit of excitement going into it. And I'm rambling a little bit just because I don't want... Like, I'm not ready for the series to end. But as I mentioned in the start, just because the completionist run has ended doesn't mean that there aren't going to be any more videos on this game. In fact, there are a few other videos I want to make, like bonus videos on game mechanics and other fun little things that wouldn't have made much sense to do while the run was still going on, because it would have been too much of a distraction. One thing I want to do is I want to experiment with Lloyd's Beacon Scrolls. Another thing I want to show is the effects of age in the game. You can already see some of the effects on Serena, because she's 54, at least temporarily, but the effects actually get more and more severe as you pile on the years. So I want to show that. I want to show a few more things. For instance, I haven't killed any civilians, so maybe in a future bonus video I'll show what happens when you kill civilians and how that mechanic works. So yeah, there's other little things that I want to do, but those are going to be bonus videos. The main run has ended, and now that the main run has ended, obviously the question becomes, what next? Well, I do want to do playthroughs for the rest of the Might and Magic series, or at least for the trio of games 6, 7, and 8. But I will have to take a long break after the end of this video, or between the end of this run and the start of the next proper run. Mainly because I want to do Might and Magic 7 and then 8. I was considering skipping directly to 8 because I know that game really well, but I want to do them in order. And the reason I'll have to take a long break is because I don't know Might and Magic 7 that well. There's a lot of things that I'm going to have to research. Mainly, I'm going to have to research where all the artifacts are, where the scripted artifacts are, and other things about where artifacts can spawn, because if I want to get the maximum number of artifacts in that game, I think it's going to be a lot harder than in this game. I have beaten Might and Magic 7 before, but I don't know it inside and out the way I know this game. Although I say I know it inside and out, but despite that there were things that I didn't know, as evidenced by the video on secrets, and all of those secrets in that video were things that I did not know prior to doing this playthrough. So I think that was the most rewarding part of doing this playthrough, is learning that this game that I played so many times nonetheless had so many things that I didn't know about. There's still more to learn, and I'm convinced that there are still secrets that I haven't found. And if there's something you know that I've missed, please leave it in a comment, and I may not have been able to cover it in the run, but I will definitely get to it in a bonus video. And on that note, I think we're about ready to bring things to a close. So I'm really glad you've stuck around with me on this journey. Even if you didn't watch all of it, I'm glad for however much of it you did watch. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. And I hope you'll join me for our next project, when we eventually play Might and Magic 7. Now, I do plan on doing other games on my channel. I've already done a series on Children of Morta, which was a lot of fun. But the way I'm going to do things on my channel is I will do one old game and simultaneously one new game. Generally, the newer games will be indie games. And I'll do it this way because if I only do one type of game, it'll get a bit stale. Doing different types keeps both of them fresh and engaging, at least for me. So that's how it's going to be organized. So once again, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. And until then, take care.